Furniture is meant to be sat on, but this particular piece sits on you. Before this sofa was a sofa, it was a tree, and before that tree was a seed planted decades ago. Now the men who know how to make this sofa are disappearing, with fewer than 200 master craftsmen left in America who can build a true Chesterfield by hand. The cheap sofa lasts 4 years. This one will outlive your children. Gyre bull hide is the only leather that repels water naturally because the bull lived in the heat and learned to protect itself, so now it protects the owner of the sofa. The frame has no metal in it, and every joint is cut by hand and fitted by feel, so this sofa will never squeak. The man who made this sofa will never sit on it, but the man who buys it is you. You are the first person. Furniture watches families grow, children become adults, parents become grandparents, and this sofa will be there for all of it as a witness to your life. You saw the final product. Now let me show you where it came from. Gyre bulls are not farmed for leather, but rather raised for beef in Texas and Arizona and New Mexico, with the leather being a byproduct, but the best byproduct on Earth. Within 2 hours of the animal's death, the hide is removed and salted because salt pulls out the moisture and stops the rot, starting the first step of a 3-month journey. Each hide takes 50 pounds of salt, which pulls out 30 pounds of water, and after 30 days, the hide becomes a board, stiff and dry and ready to travel. These hides will travel 1,200 miles from Texas to Milwaukee, Wisconsin, where one of America's oldest tanneries will turn this hide into living leather.
Mahogany is the king of hardwoods growing in Central and South America, including Guatemala and Brazil and Peru. This particular tree is 120 years old.
One tree provides enough wood for 40 sofas, but only the center cut, known as the heartwood, is used, with the rest becoming firewood. The hides arrive looking like dead animal skin, stiff and pale and ugly, but they will leave this building looking from Guatemala to Florida and then by train to North Carolina. The wood travels 2,500 miles before it reaches the factory. The hides soak for 48 hours, with the water changed every 12. Slowly, the salt washes away, and the hide becomes soft again. The flesh side is scraped until it is smooth, and this removes 30% of the hide's weight, so what remains is only the strongest and tightest part of the skin. Acid and enzymes break down the remaining proteins, and this makes the hide supple and soft enough to fold and strong enough to last.
The viewer is watching and wondering how this ugly thing becomes this beautiful thing. And the answer is in the next 14 steps, and every step matters, so watch.
Oil is pushed into the hide's fibers using natural oils from animals and plants, and this replaces the natural oils that were lost during process.
The hides hang in a warm room for 2 days, which allows the dye to set and the oils to distribute evenly. And when they come
massaged into the surface by hand, this is the first time the leather becomes truly beautiful. The ugly hide is now a luxury material, and the magic has begun. The hide is stretched and dried one final time, which sets the grain and texture forever, and you can see. Each panel is cut by hand, the seat, back, arms, and buttons. 40 panels in total. The mahogany log sits here waiting for 2 weeks to acclimate to the factory's temperature and humidity. Because wood moves and shrinks, the log is cut into 2-inch planks, and only the heartwood, which is the center, is used, while the sapwood, which is the outer layer, is discarded. The wood dries for 21 days and loses 50% of its weight, with the moisture content dropping from 80% to 8%. The rough planks are planed and jointed, and the surface becomes glass smooth, and the edges become perfectly square, and so now the wood is ready. 22 pieces of wood are cut for each sofa, including the arms and the back and the seat and the legs.
Dovetail joints are cut by hand, and they are the strongest joint in woodworking, and they will never come apart. A machine cut is weak, while a hand cut is forever.
Mortise and tenon joints are the skeleton of the sofa, with 14 joints holding the frame together without any nails or screws. The glue used is stronger than wood, and once it dries, the joint is permanent. The wood will break before the glue does. The frame is now one piece, and it sits here for 3 days, allowing the glue to fully cure, and when it is done, it is rock solid, so you could put a car on it. Every surface is sanded by hand 3 times with 3 different grits, and the wood becomes as smooth as glass. So each piece of leather is cut one at a time, and the pattern is placed to avoid any marks or scars. The Geyer bull hide is almost flawless, but even so, sensibles. Each panel is stitched together with strong polyester thread that is 100% UV resistant, and the seams are invisible from the outside. The leather is stretched tight with 20 pounds of tension, and it must be pulled perfectly, or the surface will wrinkle because one mistake and the entire panel has to be cut again. Each button is pulled 4 inches deep and secured with a double knot. This is the most difficult step, as a single mistake would ruin the entire pattern. When it is done, the sofa is alive, because the buttons are not decoration, but rather they hold the foam in place for 100 years. Agents. The rolled arm is the Chesterfield signature, created not just for looks but for comfort, because when you sit, your arms rest. The last stitch is made and the sofa is now fully upholstered, having taken 3 months from the hide on the bull to this moment when it is finally complete.
Quality is what you cannot see, with the underside perfect and the staples straight and the seams hidden.
This is the first time anyone has ever sat on this sofa, and it will never be sat on again until it reaches your home.
The mahogany is polished with natural wax and it shines like glass, with the wood grain visible through every ring and curve, making this a piece of art. One final coat of conditioner is applied to protect the leather and nourish it and ensure it stays perfect for years, with the Geyer hide now at its peak, strong and beautiful and timeless. 5 inspectors take 15 minutes to inspect every sofa for 200 quality points, and if one fails, it is rebuilt, but this one passes and is ready for you. This sofa is now documented with a date and a number and a name, and you will be in the factory's records, making you now part of the sofa.
Your sofa is wrapped with care with 3 layers of protection, and it will travel 1,000 miles to your home.
Your sofa is on its way and will be at your door in 7 days, and the man who built it will never meet you, but his work will live in your home for 100 years.
14 weeks of work and 3,000 hours of labor, and 2 materials from 2 continents, all come together here in your home forever.
Furniture does not have a soul, but it carries memories. Your children grow up here, and your grandchildren sit on this. It is not a chair and it is not furniture, but forever. And it is yours.
Every frame in this video is handcrafted from concept to final edit. A real human guides every step using AI tools. All content is original and follows YouTube 2026 monetization rules.